In September 2022, Shane and Ronnie recorded a glass half full episode on Ocean's 11. The project was shelved for better, more interesting podcasts. This is that mediocre podcast. Hey, Tuts, make sure that glass is half full there.
Welcome to the Waste Potential Podcast. I am your host, your guide to your future movie experiences, and potential lover, should you play your cards right, Shane. And with me is a charity case we call Ronnie. Hello, Ronnie.
Hello, I thought you were going to say I am a god. You're going to open it up with that.
And here with us is God. Introduce yourself, God.
Not me, yourself.
Hello.
I thought you were going to say
Hello.
I am a god of podcasting, and you're lucky to be hearing my sweet, sultry voice.
Keep sending me 10%. That's for our next cast when I introduce myself as God.
Working my way up to god level.
Yeah. All right. So, welcome, Ronnie. And Ronnie, can you tell the audience what the theme of today's podcast is?
Hello. Today our theme is half-ass watching movies and talking about them just to get to a point where Shane buries himself in the Nevada desert and no one to find him.
Yeah. For this week on Wasted Potential Podcast on NPR, we'll be reviewing Racist Men, The Power of Women When They Unite, and some other movie about some guys that I don't care about. Welcome. Yeah, as you could tell, we got some things to say about these movies. It's not even a given. Like, someone's going to go, but I think most people would agree with our opinion. So, without further ado, did we even say the movies that we're reviewing?
No, I was trying to see how long we could go without actually saying the movie. But if you clicked on the podcast, you know what movie.
Wow. You're trying to steal this podcast.
Okay, we're okay. So I guess let's go from the beginning. Shane wanted to watch the old Ocean's 11 and compare it to the 2001 Steven Soderbergh remake, and I said why, and I never got a reason why. Maybe Shane will give us a reason why. Maybe Shane just came back from Vegas or something. And then I said, okay, but if we're gonna do that, I'm gonna make you watch Ocean's 11 because you're such a big fan of female-centric films.
Ocean's 8.
There you go.
Ugh.
So that's why we're here. Shane, why the fuck are we here at way too early in the morning talking about these movies?
Well, I don't know why I wanted to watch Ocean's 11. I like Ocean's 11 a lot, so I wanted to just watch it. And then I was like, well, it might be fun to kind of like compare and contrast with the old one, because I actually hadn't seen the old one. I'd seen bits and pieces of it. Well, that was a really bad idea. So naturally, you just say, well, Shane fucked me here, so I'm going to fuck him here. And you said you have to also watch Ocean's 8.
Yeah.
Which I hadn't seen. So, granted, I did go into Ocean's 8 with an open mind.
Okay.
I was like, let's see. No, I was like, let's see. I hadn't seen it. I like Sandy Bullock a lot, so...
Let me read my text messages from Shane right here. Oh, fuck these female women and this bullshit. I don't want to watch it.
I would have said something much more clever. You are framing me
I don't have
like Sandra Bullock.
I don't have to frame you, Jesse James.
Oh, God. And then we watched it, and I proceeded to drink every time there was something stolen or a direct copy of Ocean's 11. And I'm toasted.
Well, going back to back of these three movies, there's a lot stolen from everywhere because, they're based upon an old movie that you have no business watching ever. It's
I would say less is stolen from the original Ocean's 11 just because there's less jewels to steal. Like literally and figuratively.
What's it like 1.5 million versus like 160 million versus 150 million?
And Soderbergh basically threw away all the ideas from it. He was just like, oh, God. He's like, I just like the idea of like 11 cool guys coming together to do a heist with drum beats in the background.
Yeah, and excellent, choreography, a likable cast, and, less misogyny and racism, like blatant misogyny and racism, I suppose.
Oh God, I was like, oh.
I guess contextually, the first Ocean's 11 was made in 1960 before the Civil Rights Act was passed.
Yeah, and everyone wants to talk about how progressive Sinatra was for the time. Yeah. I guess anything above 0 is progressive.
He wasn't actively hitting Sammy Davis Jr., I suppose, but
he's like, listen, Sammy, I let you perform on stage. I ain't going to go to goddamn rallies.
Okay, let's get into this. 1960s. Let's start with the original Ocean's 11. So this is your
EO 11.
That's the only part I like about is Sammy Davis Jr. singing like random tunes.
Dude, there's a few where they're like, hey, we got Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin. We gotta have them sing.
Yeah, okay. But
ain't that a kick
in the head? Okay, let's just jump into this because I don't want to spend too much time on this first one more than I have to here. Okay, 1916. It is starring the Rat Pack. If you don't know who that is, that's Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Peter Lawford, some other guy that no one really talks about as much. And they were just famous, I'm guessing, Vegas crooners.
You forgot about the Chinese butler.
Oh my God, I forgot about. Yeah, the Chinese butler just sits there, just smiles.
Oh,
dear Christ.
God.
So basically, Frank Sinatra's huge at the time, and then someone wrote a story and they tapped him and said, "Hey, Dean, hey Frank, do you want to make a movie where you're the coolest guys in the world and you're stolen valor people and you guys can." Go out there and steal some money from those evil corporate business and casinos. And he's like, sure, can I drink the entire time and say sexist things? Of course you can.
No, he went, wait, what's it? Man talk.
You should just call it Ocean's Man Talk. That's the entire thing would have been perfect. Speaking of which, I got to get into this. Okay.
Yeah, get into this. Yeah, so they decide they're going to rob, was it 3 casinos?
It's 5. So baller.
I thought they upped the ante in the new one. I thought they only planned on 3.
No, the original one's 5. The Clooney one's 11, 3, and then Sandy's is just 1, just the Met Gala.
Yes, their master plan is to hire a master. I'm putting quotations, electrician, and switch the wiring so that when power goes out and the generator kicks on, it opens the door. That is their super elaborate plan.
And they go in there without guns and just say, hey, keep singing. Give me the money, you dirty, dirty insert expletive here.
Then the other half of the movie is some criminal that's marrying an old lady and banging her out, trying to get a piece of their money. And yeah.
Okay, let's start from the beginning. So,
all right, you explain this film.
Okay.
I am not equipped. I'll do 11.
Shane did not watch this. Okay,
I skimmed.
So basically, the first hour is beyond boring, and it's basically Frank Sinatra, Danny Ocean slowly collecting the people for this job, and they're all old war buddies from the 82nd Airborne, I think they say. And basically they're mad that they don't have money. It's not really totally clear what they actually do. I know Sammy Davis Jr. has a day job. I know Peter Lawford's like a spoiled brat. I think Dean Martin's playing himself. I don't know. He's singing at one point.
He just walks around being like, "Hey, toots, ain't that a kick?"
And then Frank Sinatra's just mad for some reason.
Has Asperger's.
Yeah, I don't know. He's just angry about that he doesn't have money, so then they plan this heist, and the heist is to just knock out the power, go in, take the money, and walk out while it's dark. I guess there is no security at all in casinos. And then so it's literally the first part of it is they don't really tell you what's going on. You have to just kind of know, and they don't show you. They just tell you slowly. They're all the first hour is collecting all the people. And they finally
But
said,
you don't. They just say names. They don't put any faces to names. So it's like, yeah, you're talking about Johnny Two Time, and then like, who the fuck is Johnny Two Time? And then like just some randomly the guy is there and like, hey Johnny Two Time, you're like, wait, that's Johnny Two Time? Oh my god.
It's kind of hard because when you're watching 3 Oceans movies back to back to back, and they're all entirely different movies, you're being introduced to like 80 characters that don't really have a lot of character. So
With only one director that knows how to actually introduce characters.
yeah, so in original Ocean's 11, I know a lot of these actors are very famous for the time period, but they have no character. So it's kind of like you have the main 4, and then 7 other guys who are also there that don't really have anything to do, and you could literally interchange out these white people, and I would not know. They're all just a bunch of like dirty Italians and Irish guys. I just do not know like who is who, honestly.
And none of them can act.
Oh my god!
Like, I know Sinatra's been in a few films and stuff, and Dean Martin, but like, it is so it's funny because like I look now at movies, and you know how like the big thing is like corporatism and Disney, which it's true, but that has always been there. Looking at this, like, yeah, we'll get Dean and Frank, and they'll sing a couple jingles, and audiences will flock to this film. Like, they thought about the film second and put these guys in there, and it's the equivalent of today's corporate like bullshit that you always see in a film, but done from the '60s. We're like, yeah, Dean and Sammy could come too.
Yeah, that's literally how it went. So, just I guess we'll go background here. My dad's obsessed with the Rat Pack because he's old, so obviously that's like one of his things. So I remember as a kid watching. Do you see the Ray Liotta Rat Pack movie?
No,
it's an HBO movie. It's pretty good, but Ray Liotta plays Frank Sinatra. So I remember watching it as a kid, and there's a scene that talks about Ocean's 11. It's basically what it is. It's just they approached Sinatra and said, "Hey, here's a movie for you. You make a bunch of money." And whatever, because people just wanted to see celebrities. So the 60s is like the rise of celebrityism. So Sinatra, you just want to see him on TV, and he'll do some singing. He'll just drink himself into an early grave, and then say really sexist things. And then, yeah, like you said, Sammy can come along too.
We're going to shoot the picture in Vegas by day. All right, we're going to play the sands at night. We're going to tear up the town. And in our spare time, we're going to do our part for Jack.
Spare time? What spare time? I don't sleep good standing up, Frank.
Hey,
I'm confused here, Frank. You got a story here set in Vegas about Ocean starring a schlemiel who sings about garbage.
I'm Ocean, Schmendrick. I'm Danny Ocean.
Schmendrick.
You bums are part of my old commando unit. We're ex-GIs who reunite to knock over some casinos. The plot's a gas or it's foolproof.
I say screw the movie. Let's just pull the job.
Yeah, I figure if power doesn't mean that you have the opportunity to work with the people that you love, then you haven't really got any.
Beautiful, Captain.
Yeah.
Frank, is there something in this for me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're going to play a singing garbage man, Sam.
Now you're spoiling them.
No, but seriously, Frank, I mean, is there a part for me?
Sam, it's a great part. Don't worry about it. Look at you worrying. You're getting wrinkles.
You have got to play this part. There is singing, dancing, a wonderful title song. It's yours, baby. It's yours.
Okay.
Day after tomorrow, gentlemen. We'll be in Las Vegas. Happy New Year.
Mark it.
Tail Slave 42, take 1.
And cut. One more right away.
Wow, what was wrong with that?
Nothing, Frank. I just want another for safety.
Safety? What are we, jumping out of an airplane? You said action, we did the scene, you said cut. That's it. It's over. Finita. Come on, boys, let's take a steam.
Oh, we're schwitzing.
Take us down, Brady.
Coming down.
EO 11. Thanks, Luke.
Relax, Miley. It's only a movie.
Well, I guess that was a print.
There's not much to talk about this movie because it's so boring.
Yeah.
And it is. They have no idea how to create character, introduce characters. They don't even know how to introduce the plan properly. Like, he does a magic trick or something to be like, oh, look, Danny's a con man. He can do magic. Well, I thought he was a con man, not a magician. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's hard because all we know about them backstory is they're ex-military and they're buddies, and this is the 60s, so this is pre-Vietnam. They mentioned World War II, I think, like fighting Nazis or Germans.
Yeah.
So
they must have dodged out of Korea.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who gives a shit about Korea?
That's the problem. Is one, they talk so like mumbly and fast. This is like the '60s rap pack. It's like, hey, talking like, going back and forth, like this and now, you gotta know.
You have the obligatory not Jewish boss who's like, you're going to put me to early grave. Oh.
So I was reading about him because I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And they had to actually slow down his audio. It was even worse. Like he was so like nonsensely mumbly.
That's why his voice seems so weird.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wrote that down. Like all their voices,
it seemed off.
It is. It's because they had to like slow it down because he was like, the dog, I'm
oh god, I'm going to have a heart attack, Danny. Like, the comedy back then was just atrocious.
Yeah, so a constant like joke is Danny Ocean's just a dick, which they kind of play off into the 2001 Ocean's 11, where they're just making fun of this. I think he's like a Russian Jew or something. I don't really know what his ethnic background is, but he's just label him ethnic because he's just everything kind of put under one. And he's giving me a heart attack, and it's like, oh, okay, but...
And Danny's like, this is Danny from the Beverly Hills Police Department. We need you to come identify a body. He goes, oh, Jesus!
Yeah.
Like, it's so over the top. And I was like, humans are different than we were in the 60s, like our viewpoints, what we find interesting and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I still think we have the same idea of comedic timing, what is truly funny. And I was like, no wonder why people just got drunk and beat their wives back then. There was nothing funny, man. They'd just go, they'd watch this shitty movie with Frank, they'd get drunk, and they'd go home to punch. Like,
which is a potential podcast in no way endorses assault and battery.
I don't endorse it. I'm just saying it makes sense now. It's just like, God, I have no outlet. Even the strippers are wearing a ton of clothes.
So I think the first 90 minutes of this movie are beyond boring, but once it goes away from the Rat Pack, I actually kind of like the aftermath. I actually like the last 30 minutes where it's the 5 casino bosses because they get hit, and they're like, well, we're gonna hire this sketchy guy who I think is played by Cesar Romero, who's the original Joker in the original Batman like series. Yeah, that's him, and Duke Santos, and they hire this greasy Santos guy to like use his
He's foreign. He's definitely greasy.
But they basically kind of hire him to like use his underworld connections to figure out who robbed the casino, and he figures out in 10 seconds, and he tries to pull another one on him. There's no tension really, because the whole thing is played off as a joke, and it's silly. And I actually like how it ends. It ends like nihilistically, where basically they watch their money literally burn, which is kind of funny because one of their friend dies, one of their buddies in combat who they their ride or die with, he just dies, and they don't give a flying fuck about him at all. At one point, Dean Martin has to say to the camera, Frank's not taking this very well, but Frank's doing fine. Frank's just drinking and being angry, so they don't give a
Frank's
flying...
like, we all die. We're here to drink brandy and fuck.
They don't give a fuck about their friends, so it's kind of fun that like they put the money in his casket to smuggle it, and it just burns, and they all get nothing. So it's kind of a downer ending. So I kind of liked it.
Well, it's like you didn't think about that. Like I thought about that immediately. I was like, well, what if he's getting cremated?
Well, like that's kind of the whole thing is. It almost seems like they luck into this plan, and everything after that is a terrible decision. So it's kind of like these guys who I don't like are losing everything and risk it all and get nothing. Like, it's kind of fun for me as the audience.
Yeah, at least they all burn, figuratively.
Yeah, because I don't even like any of these fuckers. I guess Sammy Davis Jr. isn't a bad actor. He seems like he's just, he's happy to be there, I guess.
Literally, he just kind of smiles in the background, like, "Hey, everybody!"
Yeah, well, and he actually like has a job, and he's actually like, and it makes sense. Like, what he does. He's a garbage guy. He's down on his luck, so they bring him in to be a driver, and then it works. But that's the only person who's a backstory of like anything I care about, I guess.
It's all a state of mind, whether or not you find that place down there or heaven. In the meantime,
move on? This movie sucks.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else to talk about. You're the one who picked this. Okay, just so you all know.
I didn't know. I didn't know, Ronnie. I just picked it because it seemed fun. And I was like, everyone always goes, oh, the old times were better. I like the old movies. I got a little Seth MacFarlane in me. And then I watched it, and I wanted to burn Family Guy to the ground. We shouldn't worship these fucks.
So what a normal person probably would do in a podcast is watch the movie first and say, hey, let's talk about a movie. Shane's like,
that's not how this works.
Apparently it's not how this works. What happens is
our head of social media interaction is a homeless person.
Basically, Shane just tells me what to do. He slaps me around, calls me a broad, and then I just follow suit because I like, I can't leave.
Shut up. You're lucky to be with me. You see this tux? It's always undone. Between us saying we're going to review movies that we haven't seen and then doing it and regretting it, and our head of social media actively harassing Garth Brooks. This is just going deep into the ground.
Yeah, I don't see there's no cinematic value of Ocean's 11 at all.
No.
Unless you really, really like old people being boring. And I like old boring shit, but this is just there's nothing really of any value here, so I don't recommend watching Ocean's 11. At least
I hate to say that a movie has no redeeming qualities, because I love The Room, but this isn't funny. It's even for me. Like, they said some jokes, and I literally almost spit my drink. I was so off put. I was just like, what?
Take a couple of 100 big ones and do something for world peace. Like buying out the Miss Universe contest. Get rid of all the parades and all that jazz. And just sit around and talk to the girls one by one. Find out how things are in Sweden.
Nah, I don't like that goodwill approach. Use your loot right by turning money into power. I think I'll buy me some votes and go into politics.
Hey, now that's a good idea, baby boy. You'd make a good notary public.
I'm the one that's going into politics.
What's going to be your platform, Big Sam?
Repeal the 14th and the 20th Amendment, take the vote away from the women, and make slaves out of them.
Hey, now that's something that's real constructive.
Yep. Hey, will it cost much?
Oh, no, we'd have the price controls. No inflation on slaves.
Vote for Sam Harmon. Help stamp out mental health.
You got a better platform?
Yo, sure.
Yeah.
Pay off your own party. Settle for an appointment.
Yeah, now that's real deep thinking. Gentlemen, I'd like for you to meet our latest senator.
What a terrible thought.
You have any idea how much money a man can steal? If he was something like Commissioner of Indian Affairs. That's what I'll be, Commissioner of Indian Affairs.
And everyone's like, and even Sammy's like, right. And you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, Dean Martin, your views on women's rights have aged really well.
And they all looked at Sammy like, you're not a part of this joke, Sammy. Just stop. It's so bad, and I will forever not want to hear how progressive Sinatra was because he let Sammy into the gang. Like, Sinatra, you're dead to me.
You could even go back to that and argue that it's maybe not progressive, more as he knows how to cater to a different audience as well. So I don't know anything about Sinatra really, but I could probably see he probably cared more about the money he would be making by including Sammy as opposed to not.
Yeah. And I just want to if you have rose-colored glasses of the 60s, go ahead and just watch this film. It'll punch them right off your face. All right. Now let's have some fun.
Okay. Okay, 2001, Ocean's 11.
Yes.
Directed by Steven Soderbergh, written by people who I don't know, starring. Well, I guess that is the theme of all these movies, right? It's just an excuse to get a bunch of beautiful people and the same movie.
But Ocean's 11 and Steven Soderbergh, I like early Soderbergh before the Soderbergh formula is totally transparent. This is early, so you're not introduced to the formula. It's like early Nolan.
This is
not as epic.
This is not early Soderbergh, just so you know.
It's early for me.
For you, yes. This is not early Soderbergh.
All right, but Suck my balls.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's a film podcast, but yeah, no things about
Shut
film.
the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Tell us about Ocean's 11, Shane, you Soderbergh expert.
You're lucky I let you in on this, Sammy. Wait.
Okay.
All right. No, they take the idea of you bring a bunch of stars together, right? A bunch of people that everyone understands who they are. And it's the same heist. It's a lot more in-depth, a lot more fun because of how they all interact. This viewing, I remember the plan always making sense to me, and now I watched it, and I go, there's so many points where this plan frizzles out, or like you're like, oh, that's really counting on a lot of factors you can't control.
Well, okay, but we
it's
have
still
to
fun.
We have to approach this like you approach time travel movies. Any heist movies are exactly the same. You have to just kind of accept and to put that disbelief up there really big, because like if you nitpick this, there's no fun in this movie, obviously.
Yeah, like especially the technology bits. But
okay, since you mentioned it, really quickly, my favorite part that I laughed out loudest was when they slide that little like metal, like Altoids box to the guys, and the guys just pass out. I'm guessing it's like a high frequency that knocks them out, or is it gas?
I don't know. Why didn't they just have a gas canister they threw?
I don't know.
Or a gun.
A monoxide poisoning? I don't know. I just thought it was funny.
I just like how these movies go like, they're not going to use guns because we have to maintain their good guys. When in real life, they just blast those two guards and be done with it.
Yeah, well, I guess murder versus armed robbery. I don't know, but also, like you said, it makes sure your characters are still likable.
Oh yeah, which they do a good job at.
Yeah, because they're all criminals.
Right, and they also make the owner of the casino, Andy Garcia, such an evil prick that the audience goes like, "Yeah, fuck that guy." But then I go like, "What's wrong with Tess?" Like,
oh yeah,
what? She's supposed to be this cool character, but like, why would she be with him if he's such a cocksucker?
That's my biggest kind of complaint about this movie is Tess, Danny, and Benedict, but maybe we can circle back to that and kind of go top to bottom with this movie before we divulge into too much chaos.
The premise of Ocean's 11 is we have the opening intro scene of Danny. Ocean is getting out of prison. He went to prison for a heist that didn't go his way. And so he immediately, therefore, because it's all he knows, plans another heist. I assume he was planning it while he was in prison. He goes all over the place, first getting Brad Pitt, who is teaching, which is the best part of the whole film.
Yeah, it's so good.
He's teaching B-list celebrities poker.
Mm-hmm.
And not doing a very good job, apparently. But so Danny Ocean gets Brad Pitt. I don't remember Brad Pitt's name, so I just always know him. Rusty. He gets Rusty, and he lets him in on the plan. Obviously, Rusty thinks it can be done, and he's bored. That's kind of like the key component of all this is, while a lot of these people are... Oh, I like how they're not totally down on their luck.
Mm-hmm.
They're just bored.
They're just a bunch of career criminals. That's simple as that.
So there's no like Ocean's 8 does this, which is frustrating, and then Ocean's 11 does this too, where it's like they're down on the luck or something. But this one's just like, nah, it's just what they do. Let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
So they assemble this team. It's like more of a montagey kind of thing, but it's done really well. It's fun. It's quippy, and it's just short enough that you know who this character is and what they bring to the team. They're not some random Texan that just shows up on their doorstep and goes, "Hey, I had a broken arm. Never mind, I don't." And you're like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yes, the perfection is obviously just like giving us enough, just to like, because none of these are in-depthful characters. They're very two-dimensional, but they're fun enough that it works. Kind of like in an action movie. Like, I always think of like Aliens, where it's kind of like, you know enough about the characters to connect to who they are, what their job is, but it's not like you said. It's not schmaltzy where like everyone has this backstory that matters. It's just they're career criminals. They're fun and likable. They have good quippy banter. They don't all get along, but they all have this common goal.
Yeah, like when you have a cast this large, you have to treat it like a solar system, where you have your center, which is Brad Pitt and George Clooney. They are the center of this solar system,
and Matt Damon,
and everything else orbits around it. Some are closer, some are further, and like obviously Ruben is Pluto.
I was gonna say it's the Mormon twins.
Yeah. No, because they're really fun.
Everyone remembers the Mormon twins.
I would call them a comet. They show up and you go, "Oh my god," and then they're gone.
Cute little shooting stars that kind of go side by side. Yeah.
They're my favorite part though. But so they do little introductions. They're perfect, little 30 to 45 seconds. You understand who these characters are and what they do and bring to the team. Except the Mormon twins, they're kind of like a plug and play. Same with Matt Damon, but at least Matt Damon's a little more like
Matt Damon's
focused.
Matt Damon's specific thing is to steal the codes. He's an excellent pickpocket. The Mormon twins are literally just,
to argue with each other.
Kind of like WD-40, like, like cure all kind of thing, just like just put it on everything.
Like the muscle kind of.
They're just basically they're the distraction. They always distract people, and then Casey Affleck is a tech kind of guy. He uses like a little like R2D2 robot thing.
I will say that they're probably the least developed, but they're covered up by the fact that they argue.
Yeah, they're funny. Like you
they
said,
are funny.
Like you said, Ruben's like he's the backer with the money. He has literally no purpose besides to give money and say, "God damn it."
You're gonna put me in an early grave.
Yeah, but
he's the obligatory Jewish Vegas guy.
Yeah, but so what 2001 keeps is the heist kind of premise, but they flesh out this like giving a character's recognizability, and then they do keep the female in there.
Tess.
They keep Tess, but the thing is, even with the original one, they don't even go back to her. She's literally just there to say, "Oh, Danny's not that bad," and then she hangs up the phone, and then she's literally forgotten forever for the rest of the film.
So Tess in the original is the only, I would say, mildly progressive character, or like fitting, like a human being in the original, because like she shows up. And she's supposed to be like cool, calm, and collected, right? She's the only woman that Danny Ocean cares about. And Danny Ocean is planning this heist and is like, "Hey, Toots, why don't we just go bang it out in Rio?" And she's like, "Well, are we gonna like be together?" And he's like, "Fuck no." And she's like, "Well, you can fuck yourself." And you're like, "Oh, thank you. Someone is smart."
Yeah, but it's also
she's
annoying.
like intelligent, kind of. Well, she's intelligent, but you could tell that she's being written in the 60s, and they're like, "Well, don't let her talk back too much there, Danny."
well, the only reason why she's there is literally a scene where a blonde chick that Frank Sinatra tries to hook up with, or it's not really clear if he's trying to hook up with her or just get her out of the way if she's going to like cause a problem. But then she calls Mrs. Ocean to kind of say, "Ah, your husband, he's sleeping around." She goes, "Well, you're the real tramp." And it's like, what? Your husband's cheating around on you, but you're just going to forgive him? It's so 60s.
Oh my god, it's so fucking awful. But they keep Tess and they replace her with Julia Roberts. And it's, I would say, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Because like Tess is like a no-nonsense museum curator. It's obvious that she still has these deep feelings for Danny, but her guard is up against him because he's a thief and a liar. And George Clooney's just so goddamn charming. You just can't help yourself.
I always got the implication of like Tess wasn't really on the up and up because obviously Benedict's like linked with the mob, or at least some kind of little more violent.
He's dirty.
He's dirty. Obviously Danny is dirty, so she's part of that world because, well, even worse, you go to Ocean's 12, she actually is involved in the heist. So I don't really think she's as squeaky clean, and this kind of goes into like why she's just kind of following whoever is the most successful.
I never thought about that.
Yeah. Well, because it's weird because Julie Roberts is always just squeaky clean. She's always like the good girl. So I think the problem with this movie, which kind of goes to my problem, is the stars are so big. They don't really have characters. They're more kind of like they're playing themselves, and they kind of just play that in the film.
You can look at that as a problem or as something that you enjoy, because you see Ocean's 11 to see these actors that have really good chemistry. Like, that is a definite plus, is I feel like all these guys have great chemistry with each other, and it makes for a fun, witty, and quick movie. Like, it doesn't stop, it keeps the beat, and yeah, is it going to win an Oscar? No. But is it going to be something that you can revisit multiple times in your life? Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I think that's its biggest support. Like, because I don't think it's a problem. I think the only reason why this movie works is the direction and the actors, because it's a ridiculous premise, but it works because Clooney, Damon, Pitt, and the rest of the cast are so likable, but they don't have any characters, so they're just playing themselves. So that really just is just like, hey, do you want to watch these actors have a lot of fun together? And there's enough twists and turns to make it likable. But like, can you imagine this movie with nobodies?
Ocean's 8?
Okay. Okay.
No. I
know I set you up for it. I know, but
I will, before I shit on it too much, I liked Sandy Bullock in Ocean's 8. I like her a lot. I think she was a good, let's just fucking call a spade, Danny Ocean. Like,
Debbie.
It's who she played. Let's fucking, everyone else, I mean, Anne Hathaway's hot, but like, everyone else was dog shit in that film, man. Like, Sandy Bullock really like put a good performance in it. Everyone else is just bollocks.
I think for all of these movies, all the actors just play themselves, and it works for this film. This doesn't work in all films, but this film is just a fun little, like, sit back Saturday evening, or kind of just like a silly Sunday movie. Like, it's fine. My only point was just saying, now rewatching it, I think it only works because we know who they are, and this would never work with just nobodies. But regardless, it's fun.
Yeah, if it was nobodies, they would have to be even more charismatic.
You'd have to have characters.
Yeah, which we don't need. But so yeah, they have the plan, and the plan is the 3 casinos, just like the first one. They're gonna do multiple casinos, but this time, instead of just like, yeah, the door's gonna open and we'll bum rush it, it's like very elaborate. There's like the vault, and all 3 the casinos are gonna put all their money in that vault. On fight night, they're gonna do all these where charm and wit will not do. There is a tool somehow, a fancy stainless steel tool that does it. Very convenient.
All heist movies, all of these movies, which, there's so many, like, for example, Rick and Morty nowadays, like, just like obliterates this and like has a fun episode where it just makes fun of all these things. But like, it's full of cliches, but whatever. The fact that just these things so happen to line up and then is ridiculous. And if you spend any time in a Vegas casino, there's no structure to drunk people that run around and scream and stuff. So this would fall apart immediately.
Yeah. The one thing I will give Ocean's 11 is my wife and I watched it together. This is a movie my wife even watched. And we played the drinking game. You have to snack, or you have to drink every time Brad Pitt is snacking.
So much snacking. And you have to drink every time they mention a heist name without any context. Or like a plan. So they'd be like, hey, we'll pull the Mississippi mudslide. That hasn't been done since 58. Okay, we'll do a Tennessee two-step. That takes 3 people. Like, but for me, that works because I like that kind of stuff, because I don't need to know what it is. But what it tells me about the characters is they've been doing this for so long, and they're so embedded into this underworld of just,
it
silly
establishes
nonsense.
competency without having to show competency.
Yeah. So I like it, and and I don't really care too much about because I know there's actual in the criminal underworld these have real meaning, but I don't really need it because I just know that Brad Pitt's cool and he snacks on ice cream and nachos. And he still looks beautiful.
So hot.
That is the sexiest thing I have ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, and then it goes and it ends, and the bad guy, who is Benedict, which is funny that the owner of the casino is the bad guy, not the band of criminals that robs him. But okay.
Well, but once again, it works because they're all morally compromised. So it just who's more of a dick? Well, it's obviously Andy Garcia because he's Andy Garcia because he's always a dick.
Yeah.
So what I like about the structure is that it's very well. The movie's perfectly written. It doesn't take too much time to do one thing. It keeps it moving so you don't get bored. So the first 30 minutes is the setup, getting the characters. Like literally at the first act, they tell us the plot. The next part of the movie, the second act, is all setting it up. We're seeing the behind the scenes, the back and forth. They run into a lot of hiccups that are easily solved, which is ridiculous. Yep. But once again, this is something I like is the problem with Ocean's 8 is there's no conflict. This movie has tons of problems that they have to constantly just fix on the fly.
God forbid women run into conflict in a movie. That might demonstrate that they're not perfect.
So then the last act is the actual heist, and that's the most fun. It's just like, them dealing with the heist itself, and then all these reveals. You don't need the reveals, but the reveals make it tons and tons of fun because throughout I've seen this movie so many times. I've seen this movie so many fucking times. This was like a Hollywood video movie when DVD first came out, and then I remember buying this for my dad, and we'd watch it like all the time. So I've seen this movie so many times, and every time I watch it, there's more like a reveal of like, oh, okay, they were hinting at this all along. But so like it keeps it fresh. It's constantly kind of revealing it to the audience and to Benedict. What's going on? It's tons of fun.
It's a very good movie, and there's like different categories of good movie. Like there's like guilty pleasures. Then there's like the movies that are just well made. They're obviously never going to win an Oscar, but they're always going to just be remembered. And this is one of those. It's just the pacing is perfect. I'm not going to say perfect, but it's very good. The characters, for how many there are, he does a good job at each character. So when you see them on screen, you go, I know what he's here for. I know what he does. They do a little bit of a love triangle with Danny Ocean and Tess and Benedict. And it's not even just like that's okay. Like Brad Pitt tries to call off the whole thing, but then you find out that was all part of the plan anyways. Like it was a double cross.
But why, you asshole? Why would he do that?
I don't know. I don't see what that added to the plan at all. But whatever.
So what's translated over is Danny Ocean's a dick because in the original one, Sinatra's mean to like the Russian Jew, and in this one, Brad Pitt and Clooney are constantly just messing with Matt Damon.
Yeah, Matt Damon's the bitch boy.
Yeah, so Matt Damon's the youngest one, and his dad's a famous criminal, and they know him from that.
Bobby Caldwell.
Yeah, so they basically kind of just mess with him. They're basically hazing him, and I literally, for a precision heist, for a precise every move matters, why are you messing with him? It doesn't make sense, maybe to like just put all the pressure on him to let him know like you got this, you can handle it. I just think it's like you're putting a lot of risk on this very risky operation.
It's very unprofessional, but I enjoy it. Like the scene where he's like,
"Don't touch your tie. Look at me." Okay, I ask you a question. You have to think of the answer. Where do you look? No good. You look down, they know you're lying, and up, they know you don't know the truth. Don't use 7 words when 4 will do. Don't shift your weight. Look always at your mark, but don't stare. Be specific, but not memorable. Be funny, but don't make him laugh. He's got to like you and then forget you the moment you've left his sight. And for God's sake, whatever you do, don't, under any circumstance.
Russ.
Yeah.
Can you take a look at this?
Sure.
Yeah, it's, once again.
Matt Damon plays it so perfect as this Weasley little like, but he's actually a professional. Like, he never messes up, really. I mean, he does the one where he, like, goes into Caltech without being invited, but
yes,
that's because basically in the front of the van is Wasted Potential podcast going on.
The Provo Boys.
The Provo Boys review movies. You're so stupid. No, you're stupid.
You fucking jackass.
You're a jackass.
All right, start.
Okay, go ahead. I got one.
Oh, you're gonna think of one? Okay.
No, I've already thought of one. I'm not going to
All right,
think
so
of
you're
one.
thinking of one right now.
No, I'm done thinking about it. I have it in my head.
Are you a man?
Yes, 19.
Are you alive?
Yes, 18.
Evil Knievel.
Shit.
Don't touch me.
I'm not touching you.
Take your hand out like this.
My hand's not in your
hand's right in front
Am I
like
touching
this.
you? Am I touching
Your
you?
hand's right in front
I'm
of
not
my face.
touching you,
Take
so I'm
your
not.
hand right out front
I'm
like
not.
this.
I didn't touch you.
You just touched me.
No, I didn't.
You just
made
touched
me
me.
touch you.
That thing-
Don't. No. This
Just
is
turn
your
it-
side.
just
This is
don't-
your
you
side.
know what?
Don't touch. Get off. Get off.
Several more drinking because they're Mormons. They don't drink. But really quickly, that actually makes sense though, because Linus makes a mistake. So I guess if I'm gonna apologize for the movie, Pitt and Clooney are putting pressure on Linus to see if he'll step up and actually not make a mistake, because it does matter. Because at one point, Linus tells him, "I was following you." So like Linus is willing to, no emotion, cut Danny out and be honest for the best of the team. So I guess there actually is a point to this. They're testing Linus to see if he's willing to do it all for the money. So
yeah,
but he is. So
all right. Moral of the story is it's a charming film, very fun.
The story about family and money. But yeah, I guess before we go to Ocean's 8, have you ever seen Ocean's 12 or 13?
Yes, I really liked 12 because it kind of abandons the formula in a way. It just He takes the heist formula and just expands it out to basically its breaking point, like right up against where it's going to burst, and it's fun. And then Ocean's 13 is just like, you want to make another Ocean's 11, but it's bigger?
Well,
it's literally the same story, and it's fucking garbage.
Well, Ocean's 12 is the same exact story, but except for the last act is like a farce where Julia Roberts playing herself, and she has to come in. So basically, like the A team is arrested, but then the B team has to come in. But then the B team was part of the C team, because the C team said it was like a triple cross the entire time, and they're playing the entire thing. It becomes an absolute convoluted mess. So 12 is only fun if you just want to see these characters being the most ridiculous situations ever.
Yes. It makes no sense. And the Silver Fox, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Oh yeah, Vincent Cassel, who's like, he's all French, and
he's so French.
So French.
And then 13 is like Al Pacino is just Andy Garcia, and Andy Garcia is just Ruben, and then they do a big drill that drills underground.
I never saw 13. I was gonna watch it for this, but I was like, I've seen enough Oceans. So
it's outrageous, and it's one of those where you're like, I think we're spending more money to rob this casino than we could ever make robbing it.
But yeah, but the moral of the story is Ocean's 11, I think, is just in general a super likable film that anyone can watch. But like you said, it's not high art, but it's fun. It's a fun movie. It's just kind of like, the qualifications of like, yeah, this is fun. It reminds me of like Casino Royale, where it's like you don't have to have any interest in the world, just this movie alone. It's just fun.
It's like going to Dave & Buster's. Is the food shit? Yes. Are the games overpriced and not that fun? Yeah, but you're still smiling. You still have fun.
Does it smell like piss and vomit? And everything's sticky?
At the end.
That is the sexiest thing I have ever seen.
Now on to Ocean's 8.
Speaking of sticky.
Shall we ensure that I can never find gainful employment ever again now?
Yeah, well, you're married already, so... if she hears this and still will talk to you, it's fine. I didn't hate this movie, so do you want me to introduce it, or do you want to go on your tirade about why you hate women?
Okay, calm the fuck down. I don't hate women. Damn it! Now you made me even say that sentence.
Yep, it's staying. That's staying in.
I have a problem with this movie because I feel like it was a wasted movie. I can respect where the movie's idea came from and the goal of this film.
Can you?
But the writers and the producers and the director should be quartered and shot.
Okay.
Continue.
I didn't hate Ocean's 8. I think it's the same exact movie with just a different cast. I just think there's two problems I have with this. Is one, it's missing the direction. Soderbergh elevates it with his fun cuts and just transitions and makes it, more exciting like that, because it could be really boring like the original one. And I think the problem with there's just no conflict at all. But Ocean's 8, also another problem is Debbie Ocean, Danny Ocean's sister that we'd never heard of before, but they said she was involved somehow in one of the heists of the other movies. They never really fully branched that out and talk about it, but it's the only note I wrote down one note. It opens with the exact same thing as Ocean's 11, where Debbie's locked up and is going to parole, except for they literally kill Danny Ocean off.
Every beat of this movie is Ocean's 11. Every scene. It's so frustrating.
Yeah. Well,
even how they look.
Well, it's like it's borrowing the Ocean's 11 formula.
Borrowing.
They
painted the car different and said woman power.
Yes, but it's called Oceans. It's not like pretending to not be a knockoff. It's by the same exact name. They call her Debbie Oceans, the sister. It's literally a clone.
Ugh.
So it doesn't bother me as much because it's telling you this is just another offshoot for the sake of I'm telling you another story in this silly world that's ridiculous already.
Continue.
Okay. So like Shane said, with less misogyny, it's exactly the same beats as...
We'll just stop saying that.
With Ocean's 11, where the first part is we get introduced to Debbie, and then Kate Blanchett, who's Australian, whose real accent really throws me all the time. Her name is Lou. I thought they were lesbians, but whenever they say we were together...
I did too.
But when it says we were together, it means they were on a job together, not they were, getting intimate, which...
I was not picking that up.
Oh yeah. Well, I got the vibes, and then at one point, Sandy Bullock says, "When we were on the outs," I was like, "Oh, when they weren't doing a job together." Got it.
They got a case of the not gays,
yeah.
but in the women form.
Whatever. They're so intimate. Well, I guess once again they say in Ocean's 11 very quickly about Tess. They talk about her very quickly and the first scene,
Danny and Rusty are not gay.
Yeah, but the very first scene, Danny Ocean says, "I broke up with my wife at the time," so he's very upset about it. It's why he turned to crime, which is obviously bullshit. But tell us immediately they're not gay because Brad Pitt and George Clooney, so beautiful and just constantly looking at each other's eyes and whispering.
I wish they were gay.
God, pays so much money for that movie. But basically. Same movie. They have only 8 because they couldn't get 11 women to work together, and they decide to. So they decide to get these 8 women, 7 women together technically, and they all have kind of all have a role. It's enough where everyone's role, but there's a problem later I'm gonna talk about. It's really stupid, but they all are involved, and the whole thing is personal. Debbie, not Danny Ocean, Danielle Ocean decided that she's mad she's upset with her ex, so then they're gonna steal a crazy necklace from the Met Gala, which puts a lot of crazy things behind it too of getting into the Met Gala and stuff. But whatever, it's this world, and they do it to kind of get back at her ex who threw her in prison. So it's the same exact plot where it's nothing personal, but strictly personal. It's not really business.
Oh my god.
And then
which is stealing exactly from the whole reason that Danny Ocean planned his heist was to get back at Benedict without telling everybody else, so that they can have Rusty go, "We're out."
But they don't have that scene, but she just gets upset. It's one-on-one thing, and then convoluted mess. The last hour is the heist, and then it kind of follows the structure of the original Oceans, where it's like the setup, the heist, then there's the aftermath. It's basically saying, how did they get away with this? So it does borrow from both films of kind of going back to that original. So yeah, it's fine. And then there's no real twists. The only twist is Anne Hathaway figures out what's going on, and then they just let her in because she's bored, which kind of ties back to the Ocean's 11. Why are they doing this? Because they're bored. and then they screw over the guy because men are bad. Then James Corbin's in there for whatever fucking reason because because Ricky Gervais is too mean spirited, so they got James Corbin instead to be British and say cutesy shit to people and talk down to them. And then that's it. That's my biggest issue. There's no conflict in the movie.
There's none.
This
is keep
in Ocean's 11. They have to constantly overcome, albeit they fix the problem very easily. In the original Ocean, in the 2001 Ocean 11, there's a power problem. So then,
so they buy a bomb or they steal a bomb.
They basically steal an EMP because they say EMP without saying EMP. I don't know why they don't just say EMP, but I guess they're explaining it to people who don't know what it is. And then, which by the way, Don Cheadle, who plays a British like cat burglar or like safe cracker, who also played Sammy Davis Jr. in the Rat Pack movie back in the 90s. So just there you go. But then so basically same problem is they don't have any issues. It goes perfectly. These women are a perfect well-oiled machine and no problems ever happen to them. And even in the end, when they somehow get away with the Met Gala heist, there's no tension of they're going to get caught. They literally say, we thought this through. We're good because we got this. No problem. While in the original Ocean's 11, the Chinese acrobat gets his arm stuck in there. They didn't bring batteries. There's this tension there. All the things that we don't fully know for sure. Like when Saul has a heart attack, we think, oh, maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's not, because there's parts where Sal is like, really nervous and sweating. So maybe it's part of the film. Maybe it's not part of the film. So there's tension. There's suspense. But in Ocean's 8, there's none. The women are perfect and everything goes their way.
Yeah. I mean, so I look at modern films that are a lot like Ocean's 8. And I'm realizing now this writing problem in Hollywood has been around for a while now. And it's like the writers didn't see the fucking original movie. They did, but they didn't sit and think about it like a writer should when making a story. They just went, oh, everyone loves these actors because they're famous and they kick ass. And you're like, well, no. Like you said, there's conflict. There's a story. Like, it's like no one wants to read The Hobbit, and fucking Bilbo and gang literally just make their way all the way across. They bash everybody in front of them, and they defeat the dragon without any hitch. Huzzah. Like, that's a boring story. But that's exactly what Ocean's 8 is. It's fucking boring. Like, the characters, you roll your eyes at, because it's just like, number one, like, okay, some of them are taken kind of directly from Ocean's 11. They're just their own play on it, which, okay, I'll allow if they're utilized. And they're all plug and play. Like, what's her name? Fucking the one that does the jewels.
Oh, Mindy Kaling, yeah.
But not even very well. I'm like, what are you here for? Why are you even on scene? Like, the tech hacker was never actually part of the heist. Like, he didn't go to the casino floor the night of because he was actively doing things.
Yeah, so I guess that jumps into my biggest annoyance is, why do they all have to walk into the Met Gala and walk out? That is literally just to get the cool shot of all 8 women walking down in a gorgeous dress, showing like how badass they are. There's no reason for Rihanna to be there. There's no reason for I guess the dress woman's there because she's part of it. Awkwafina's obviously on the heist herself. But yeah, like Rihanna. Why the hell did Rihanna walk into the Met Gala just to walk out of it? I guess because they wanted that cool shot. So like those things are kind of annoying, but that's a movie thing.
And like, there's something to say about the stereotype character. Like, if you're the tech hacker, right? Let's point to The Italian Job with Seth Green. He's like mousy and nerdy and not very strong, but his strength is his computers and knowledge of technology. And like in Ocean's 11, he's weak, but like you can recognize that stereotype. Rihanna has, like, she could punch people and type on the computer. she's badass and from the streets and technologically sound. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, this is dumb. Like, none of these characters have any fucking issues. They have no weaknesses. None of them. So it's like, why do I care? This is like Captain Marvel. It's like, what the fuck is the point of this? You can just beat anything, so why are we here? This is like a Superman problem, where literally you have to, like, cut the character at the knees in order to give any sort of, like, friction.
Well, let's not be hypocritical, because the exact same thing happens. My problem is Ocean's 8 doesn't even bother having conflict. Ocean's 11, they solve it literally in seconds. But
at least there's an attempt.
It adds some suspense. Like in this movie, it's so perfectly executed. Like, it's so convoluted. It's exactly the same amount of convolution as the other one, but like everything is so perfectly kind of completed. There's never a tension like, oh, this might go bad, when they're just so confident, and there's no like in between. Once again, I don't hate this movie. I think it's just kind of pointless, except for just to have a different little story. But I didn't hate it. It just didn't really. It wasn't really funny, and it just didn't really have a lot of things going on to be like, oh, ooh, ah. It's just more kind of like just cool. It's cool, but it's not really interesting.
Yeah, this wasn't on the same level as like Ghostbusters by any means. Like, it's a much more competent and acted movie than that, but it's in the same spirit.
I think they were smart enough to do only 8 to actually, because one, everyone has enough to do in this thing, but two, I don't know, it's all these characters. It gets overwhelming to figure out, like, what the fuck do you do around here? But yeah, it's
especially when they can all do everything.
Yeah,
like. You wouldn't expect Linus in Ocean's 11 to be charming a woman and, like, charming somebody. You know what I mean? But all these characters can do that in this movie at any time at a drop of a hat.
Yeah,
like,
it's the same thing, though, with Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt does everything. He somehow is acting and
is established. Like, if Cate Blanchett's character, I don't bat an eye when she can charm and do this and do that and do that, because she is established as that character. Rusty is established as the do-all thief. When you introduce your stereotype person who fits into a team a certain way, like the explosives guy or the computer guy or the con man, you want them to be able to do that well and not much else well, because that is their sector.
Are you just saying specifically like Rihanna? Are you talking about like specifically Rihanna?
She's
herself?
really bad in this film. Her character is terrible. And they even have like a little sister who's like, oh, I'm badass and I come from the streets and I pickpocket. And she's like, you little shit. You're like, oh my God.
I guess
even if I saw a man in that role, I'd be like, Jesus fucking Christ.
I guess that's the only hang up they have, right? Is the magnet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It doesn't bother me. It's just another thing in the world. What's really weird is that they killed Danny Ocean. I don't know if that's like a middle finger to the franchise, or it's just kind of like it's supposed to be endearing. I don't really know how to feel, because they said at the beginning he's dead.
Oh, you can't have a sequel now without killing the male character. That's Hollywood 101 now. You can't just have them not be there. You have to have them dead and gone, so audiences can't expect anything else. This is what you get for the rest of your lives, you cock-sucking misogynist.
I took it as the other way. I took it as this is their brother, so they're trying to create some false sense of emotional connection, because in the very end, Sandra Bullock pours him a martini. And I swear to God, I thought he was going to come around the corner and sit next to her and say, excellent job. But they didn't. They just say, you would have been proud. So I thought
that would have been more fun.
Well, because like they bring back Ruben for no reason. They bring back
only one they could afford.
They bring back the Acrobat 2, the Chinese Acrobat.
Yeah.
I was like, why would you bother just bringing back these two? Besides, they're probably affordable.
They're the cheapest ones.
Yeah. But I don't
know. Matt
know.
Damon's like, I'm not putting my name on this. George Clooney's like, you can't afford me.
Mm-hmm. Well, like Brad Pitt was in like that latest Sandra Bullock movie, and then Sandra Bullock was in that latest Brad Pitt movie. So I figured they get Brad Pitt to just pop in to do like a quick little cameo thing. But once again, that would probably overshadow the movie. But I don't really know. I just think it's
Yeah.
I think it's just a bland retelling, and I've seen it already, and I liked it already. I saw Ocean's 11, I enjoyed it, but if they want to do one with
Yeah.
all female cast, that's fine. I didn't think anyone was beyond annoying. I just like to look at Rihanna, so I just kind of don't listen to what she's saying because she's got that fun like Barbados Jamaican accent, so it's hard to tell what she's saying anyways. So I just like staring at her and her Rasta hair.
That is the sexiest thing I have ever seen.
Yeah, I do think Ocean's 8 was kind of before this like assault on audiences, where it's like a movie is made, so therefore dig your trenches for war. Like it, I feel like it was the start of that, but I don't think the studios went full like, this is an active role against misogyny. Oh, death to the pigs! Like, you know.
This is
where the movie studio is drawing up the controversy rather than controversy coming to the movie.
Well,
like
this is post Ghostbusters, man. So this
was it really?
Yeah, this is 2 years after.
Oh,
it.
then never mind. That definitely happened. I just don't remember it.
No, I remember it not being as big of a deal, but I remember it also being, it's it works in their favor. We discussed this before in our James Bond thing. It's a double-edged sword that works in their favor. You release something like okay right now, like the whole fucking Black Little Mermaid.
Oh God.
Years ago, when this was in production, they said this. The internet got mad. They released it, and was like, it works to their favor. You can say, look at these few crazy voices. How dare you? Same thing with when you recast and redo a gender or a race flip. People are going to be upset, but that works in their favor of boosting up attention for it.
Mm-hmm.
So it works, whatever. I didn't see this in theaters because I was just like, oh, I don't care. Because I also didn't see Ocean's 13 because I just didn't care. I was like, okay, I've seen these movies.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
I get the idea. So for me, it's not a gender thing. It's just like, I just don't care. I watched it to make you mad. And that's the only reason why I watched this movie was to force you to be mad because you just hate vaginas for some reason. I just don't know what it is.
Don't. I like female characters. I like Laura Croft. I like Princess Leia.
Anne Hathaway is really annoying, but it's really perfect in this movie.
She's so annoying.
But she's perfect because she's playing a vapid like celebrity, so it's kind of perfect. She's playing something that's within her
until
wheelhouse.
she doesn't need to be a vapid celebrity.
Yes,
but
because women can't make fun of women, they have to all get along.
I hope we evolve past this because one of the things about Ocean's 11 is they can all make fun of each other. They're like friends, but they're really not. You know what I mean? Like there's kind of this air that, yeah, they might screw each other over at any moment. Like there's a camaraderie, and in Ocean's 8 it feels, I haven't seen many movies where they do that, and I think it's because maybe I just can't get it because I'm not a woman, so some of the jokes and stuff just don't hit me. No, I'm like if a bunch of girls see the Expendables, they're probably not, like, I'd say 80% are gonna be like, I don't get, this is fucking dumb. You know what I mean? And I go, yeah, it's dumb, but it's awesome. But maybe it works the other way around, where like a bunch of girls see this movie and they go, yeah, it's fucking awesome. It's dumb, but it was awesome. And I go, I don't get it.
My wife fell asleep, so I don't know. We were watching it.
She's out of the gang.
I don't know. That's the thing is, like, the pop culture things surrounding movies don't really interest me. I'm aware of them. I know that's more your realm, where you kind of like, that interests you, the behind the stuff like that. So whatever to me. Some things are annoying. Awkwafina in general is very in your face. I think she is funny, but for this one, she has nothing to really do besides she's the Linus, but doesn't have really much more to do besides be, goofy Awkwafina does goofy things.
Yeah, she's funny in like a sketch comedy show or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like as her character, she's just kind of annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Just like if I have to qualify this with everything, but if I swapped her role into a man's film and had her act, or if I had a male character act the same way she did, I'd be like, he's fucking annoying.
Well,
You know,
Well,
like it's just an annoying character.
What's like the twins, the Probo brothers? They're annoying, but that works because they're supposed to be annoying, and that's literally their skill is to annoy.
Yeah, it's
people.
literally part of the plan. Is they're so annoying you're distracted by it.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's fine. I'm never gonna watch it again. I didn't hate it though. So if you like yourself a heist movie, it's not really as it's sleek and
riveting.
It's smooth, but it's not as like exciting. But I think the problem is I've also seen Ocean's 11. So maybe if you've never seen it and you've only seen Ocean's 8, maybe you like it better. But it's basically a remake. So
yeah, and the highlight of it is Sandra Bullock and Cate Blanchett. They're good. Sandy Bullock is a good. Yeah, she's good. She's a good team lead. She's capable. She is intelligent. She's good. I like her.
Well, and I think she's a perfect Danny Ocean clone, where like Sandra Bullock and George Clooney are so A-list and so kind of like they're just playing themselves, and it kind of works for both of them that way. Kind of like Cate Blanchett. She's just Cate Blanchett, just like Brad Pitt is Brad Pitt. Just they're so big, they don't really have characters because they don't need them. The one scene I wondered, did you throw up because you hate females when
damn you,
when Sandra Bullock says
what about Ivy?
No,
Ivy.
still in jail. What about
Really?
him?
Oh, he's a him.
So?
Don't want a him.
And is it because it's a him? Because it's a him.
No, he's not a him. I barely know the guy.
What's wrong with a him?
A him gets noticed, a her gets ignored, and for once we want to be ignored.
I might have been out of vomit by the time I got to that scene.
Shane didn't even watch the movie.
I was already just like.
He hates women so much he can't even look at them in a movie without throwing up.
Do it. And I was like, when the whole twist was it was to get Claude, who was dating Anne Hathaway, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
It's the same thing as Ocean's 11. Calm down, you son of a bitch.
Jesus fucking Christ. But that was man on man.
Women can't be funny.
No, I love Amy Schumer.
Okay.
Okay.
So what's the moral of the story of this? Why the fuck did you make me watch this? Like, what's the moral of the story?
This all happened because I just wanted to watch Ocean's 11 and talk positive about Ocean's 11. Then we both spiraled into fuck you. I went towards the 60s, so I said fuck you, watch this misogynist, racist film apparently, and you said fuck you, watch this woke, modern, all women's take on Ocean's 11.
It's not even like woke.
I wouldn't call it like it's not as far like looking at some of the Marvel and Disney films that have been made. Ocean's 11 is actually Ocean's 8 is very tame.
Okay.
In that sense.
Let's talk about this bullshit. I have not seen a Marvel anything since Endgame, and I watched Spider-Man because I like Spider-Man. And all these fucking men are so annoying. They're getting so mad about this woke Marvel shit. They have your dumb action too. I do not get this. They have a little Groot shorts for babies, but no one's bitching about that. They're getting mad about like all this like progressivism. It's like, then don't fucking watch it. You have your dumb action guy centric white people.
No one is.
You have it though. You have this. It's so fucking annoying.
Oh.
I'm so tired of these Marvel annoying people who are like, oh, it's woke. I'm like, go watch Thor 3. It's full of tons of men being manly. Like, if you don't like the little Muslim girl, you don't like the She-Hulk, where she's literally a fucking She-Hulk attorney, it's a joke, then fucking shut up. Who gives a shit? It's comic books. Comic books are fucking stupid.
We can agree there.
It's so...
Comic books are dumb. We should stop making comic book movies.
I have tons of comic books in my house, but they're silly. They're fucking silly. Get over yourselves, you fucking incel pieces of shit. Go jerk off to Black Widow and say, this is a woman film because it's a woman about a woman and a woman. And, ugh, I'm tired of
James
all this.
Bond's not a woman.
I'm so tired of this fucking bullshit. Shane, if you had to marry, fuck, kill these movies, what would you do?
This is just going to be misogynist.
That's why I said it to you.
Obviously, I'm gonna marry Ocean's 11. I'm gonna fuck Ocean's 8. And I'm gonna kill Sinatra right in his fucking face. I'm gonna choke him and watch the life leave his eyes, you prick. God. They're so racist and misogynist. This is coming from me. I'm going, good God, man. Like, Jesus.
We're still here. You follow us on Instagram, Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube page, and keep listening in as we promise to constantly torture each other by picking terrible, somewhat likable, and also terrible movies for us to both watch and complain for the sake of complaining. Like we're Marvel fanboys.
I have complied with your every request, because now I have one of my own. Run and hide, asshole. Run and hide.
That is so obscene. I can't believe you're doing this.
Because I want my people to find you, and when they do, rest assured, we're not going to hand you over to the police. So my advice to you again is this: run and hide. That is all that I ask.
No, you don't! No, I do! I've been so I will kill you! Get the hell away from me!
Congratulations, you're a dead man.
The woke police are here.
What? No. I love Sandy Bullock.
I've seen The Lost City 14 times. No. That movie sucks. It stars a woman.
Okay. Check. Okay, cool.
Recording. I'm recording. Are you recording? I'm recording.
I am. Boy, we watched one fun movie and two shitters.
I would say one fun movie, one bland movie, and one fucking boring racist movie.
Dude, I'm gonna get so canceled. Like, there's just no way I make it through this without pissing everybody off.
The movie's not even that bad.
So let's begin.
Okay.
Welcome.
I was gonna say, do you want to talk about what our approach is gonna be to this, or are you just gonna dive in without any care to the wind here?
Listen, Ronnie. Here's the deal. We watched 3 movies. 2 suck and 1 is good. Not gonna tell you which though.
But we can tell everybody else.
When we're done, we make women slaves. What? Hey, don't worry about it, Sammy.
Oh my God, I wrote that down somewhere.
You said that in front of Sammy Davis Jr.
Mm-hmm.
I said that.
That's not all they say to him. The whole blackface.
Hey,
ending.
Sammy, stop it, guy. You're lucky to be in this pack.
The movie ends in blackface.
Or it could be like, do. Now listen here, men are stupid. All right.
You're doing your James.
So what are we
Corbin.
going to do? We're going to rob them because men are dumb or skeezy.
Skeevy or skeezy?
Ich bin ein Achtung, man.
She does speak German.
That'll make sense if you saw Ocean's 8.
Yeah.
I know. They sure let us know that she was fluent in German. Good Lord.
Da.
Got the films in German. So before we start, just know that I got really, really, really high last night, and that's when I was gonna watch Ocean's 8.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, I had to watch the remainder of the Rat Pack.
Oh, you watched
Ocean's
that?
11 and 8 this morning. So maybe that is why I'm in such a negative mood.
So this is what I did. So I tried to watch Ocean's 11 twice, fell asleep twice. So then last night we came home from a party, so we watched 8. She passed out. I had to finish 11. Then I started the latest Ocean's 11 last night, finished it this morning.
All right, so let's talk about a movie with 8 women and a couple there were some rats. Hit it, Johnny.
They play Elvis's Littlest Conversation like 14 times in like the 2000.
Conversation.
Whenever I hear anything Elvis,
Hey, don't you talk shit on the only good part of this fucking podcast.
Elvis?
All right. Yeah.
Hatred of black people?
No.
Have you seen Elvis yet?
No.
You should watch it. You'll like it.
Is that good?
I don't give a fuck about Elvis, but the movie's pretty good.
Neither do I. Well, I become the Elvis guy.
I don't know. You're racist.
Was Elvis racist?
No, he just took, music from black people.
That's proud musical tradition.
Well, it's just at the time period, black people were not marketable in the South, so they found a Southern boy who could move and sing.
Look at them hips move. All right. Well, see us next time for. I don't know where this is gonna come in the scheme of things.
Well, next time you hear us, it's gonna be October, so it's spooky season.
All right.
Oh, my wife's sneezing. A woman's ruining this podcast. How
God
dare you? Men are talking.
Damn it! Once again.
I hope that picked up. That'd be perfect if it picked up.
Go make babies and dinner. All right, I'm stopping.
I'm done.